everyone. Just wanted to make a video, not only for like everybody, but for myself. Trying not to get emotional right now, but this is really hard. So, wanted to say something regarding what's been going on with me and my life and stuff. Last year, or I should say in 2019, before, like, I guess when we first really heard about like COVID and everything like that, I had moved back in with my dad. Lived with my dad and my stepmom and my sister. And then everything got kind of serious with the whole coronavirus, where people had to, work from home or got laid off, in March and stuff like that. I ended up getting let go like sometime in June, everything. But last year, September, I want to say it was like September, August. Can't remember exactly. It could have been in July. Found out that my dad had cancer. He was working and he was trying to go to work, but he was like in pain. He had like stomach pains and stuff. And then he took off for a couple days to see like what it was, went to the emergency room and everything like that. Or I should say quick care, because he just thought it was like, bad stomach ache or, ate food or something like that. Well, it got really serious when he couldn't like really eat anything. We didn't know what was going on. So we took him to the hospital and everything, and he was in there for like a really long time, and we don't know what was going on because he was only supposed to be in there for a day. We're like, this can't be just food poisoning, like what's going on? When he finally came back home, I was just asking him questions like, hey, what's going on? What did the doctor say and stuff like that? And I'm like thinking that, it was something, I don't know exactly what it was. And then he told me with frustration that he had cancer. It was really shocking to hear. I didn't really know how to really take it at the time, but I was actually really very emotional when I heard that he did, and I wanted to do everything I could to try to help and make sure like he got the best care. The only thing that was hard was that he had to get care from me and my stepmom because he didn't trust any of the doctors. My dad was probably like one of the healthiest like 70-year-olds he never drank, he never smoked, didn't do any drugs or anything like that. And usually people that smoke like cigarettes, they usually get bladder cancer from what I've, found out or whatever. But yeah, I've been going through a lot of stuff during that time. A lot of like traumatic situations, a lot of transitioning as far as not only getting acclimated into, staying with him, but also dealing with some of the new characteristics of him while he was sick, dealing with that. And it was really hard, but I feel like during those times I was already kind of like mourning or grieving, but I know this is the time to like grieve even more. I guess it might be just still like a shock to me in a way. Just to let you know, today is August 16th. I think it's August 16th. Which is Monday. Yeah, it's the 16th, which is the Monday. My dad, on Friday, passed away on August 13th, which I didn't realize until my stepmom said at the hospital that it was Friday the 13th, even though I don't really believe in superstition or anything like that. There's certain phenomena that I believe in, but that in particular I didn't. I got to see him on Wednesday that week and talked to him and sat with him. I told him, I said, I feel like we did everything we could on our end, Dad. I don't know what else to do or tell you, or, like I feel like we've done all we could to make you feel better. And I feel like you should go to the doctors and be under professional care, because it seems like this is an emergency. And he told me, and he told my stepmom, if he goes to the hospital that he wouldn't make it home. He wouldn't be coming back home. And me being the positive one, I didn't want him to, I didn't want him thinking negative. Yeah, told me that he wasn't gonna make it. And even though I was at home trying to get everything together like he wanted me to, I needed to be at the hospital. And I feel like I got there in the nick of time, so I was able to talk to him for a little bit. And I feel like he was waiting for me. Me and my dad were really close. And I was definitely a daddy's girl. Definitely. I know that he loved me very much. I know he loved my brothers and sisters very much. one thing he was so adamant about is that he said that he was going to be better than his own father, and he was going to be the best father in the world, and he was, you know. Even though it's kind of sad that his last moments, even him retiring and, you know, being a hardworking man, like his last moments of being retired, like he was suffering like that whole time. He didn't even get to enjoy all his hard work, you know. His legacy, he left it for us, you know. And that's all he wanted. And he did very well for himself, you know. I can't complain. And I know that there were certain times where he was saying these vicious and mean things, not only because he was hurt, or he was in pain, but I think he wanted to try to make it less painful for me and the family. When something does happen to him, and I think he knew he wasn't going to make it. I would think I would be more like of a wreck than I thought I would be. But I don't know why, I just have like this like peace of mind that, you know, he's away from suffering. He's not suffering anymore. And that I don't regret anything. I feel like I've said everything. I think he knows that I love him very dearly. I know that he loved me. I know that certain people in my family right now, there's quite a few people that actually know and they understand, but there's some people that don't right now. But the next day, even though we should have, you know, as a family, sit around and try to find things and get things together for my dad and him to have a proper burial. I ended up leaving to California. I just got some of my stuff and I just left. Even though I had already planned to come out here, I felt like, you know, I could have easily just like canceled coming out here, but I feel like I'm more closer to Dad out here because this was his home. This is where he talked about the most memorable memories. Everything was, this is his everything, you know. I'm not saying that Vegas wasn't, because we established a home there at the time. But yeah, regardless of the last moments having some, you know, negative situations, on a positive note, like he was the greatest dad ever. He was the greatest father ever, and I can't even like put my words together on how like blessed and grateful I am to have him. Like the way that I am, you know, a lot of people see him and me. I mean, he's in my sister, he's and both of my brothers, he carried down some great qualities and great traits. And I could thank him for that. Glad I sat down and I just sat there and listened to things that he's studied, throughout his life, things that he's experienced, things that he's seen, his knowledge and everything. I know he's had some talks here and there with my siblings, but I sat down with him the most and having like conversations with him when it comes to that. And I did a lot of projects with him, and it's so funny because like there's certain things like you would do like as a father with like your son, and work on things. Like that was me. I was the one that was out there doing projects with my dad, helping fix on things, and just wanting to be a part of what he's doing. And then he would teach me like right there, which is great. I'll never forget it. My dad, he was a badass dresser too. Like he knew how to dress. Like everybody said, yeah, Steve Harvey ain't got nothing on him. Like everybody talk about that. They're like, oh yeah, Steve Harvey think he got suits. No, my dad had them suits. He made his own cufflinks. He made his own chains. He made his own canes. He made his own, different belts. The little napkin tissue things. Like he sewed those on every time. Like he resew his vest. He recut his, his blazers and stuff like that. Like he was on top of the world when I came to that. And he was a good dancer too. He was a great dancer, smooth dancer. He really had like that old school vibe to him. Always told me about, old school music. Like this that real music. See, this that real music. That stuff you guys be listening to, that ain't nothing. Blah blah blah. Yeah. Like any older person would say, about younger generational music. Yeah. I had great memories with my dad. And they'll never go away. There's gonna be moments where I do break down and, think about those memories, but a lot of them are laughable because he was a jokester. He liked to joke around. He liked to talk shit. Like, he was just one of those people that were just funny, He would say certain things that would just be like, like not out of pocket, but just left field. Like, what the heck? Who thinks of that? Like, and it was just so funny, Like, honestly, he was like my best friend. He really was. He was like my first, like, best friend. Showed true love and, unconditional love. Even tough love. He would, always call me his little baby. No matter how old I was. And that last month that I had moved out at the end of June, and it just seemed like everything was going downhill all of July, and all he wanted to do was see me and call me saying he misses me. Miss you, little baby. missed him too. I couldn't bear to see him like that. I did everything that I could. I was being strong for everybody in the family, and it was just so hard. I wasn't allowing myself to grieve. I wasn't allowing myself to, feel in that moment. Like I had to grow up like really fast when I was younger. And I even have adults like to this day even asking me like what to do, and it's like, who can I lean on? Who can I go to, And I think that's the reason why, one of the reasons why I came out here. I had to get away. I had to do what was best for me. I had to do what was best for me. And I had to get myself together. Been out here all weekend. Today's Monday. I'm heading back tomorrow morning. I wanted to go by the old house in Ontario where I grew up in, where a lot of our great memories were, that he talked about. Out of all the houses, like Ontario was like the house, and then his old house that he had in LA that he first bought, but I don't really know where that is. Yeah, we'll go by there tomorrow. I feel Dad out here. Took him to the beach when I went on Saturday. First place that I went after I got settled in. Went there. It was beautiful. Yesterday, it's a pretty good day. I got to hang out, which I call him my brother. He's like, he's like one of my best friends, like family that I choose, and he literally made me feel better. We were just like laughing about stuff, and me and him also share similar situations as far as like our parents passing. His mom passed before my dad did. It was about, let's say, maybe a couple months ago, or it's a few months. I just know it was within this year, and I've been there for him too, and told him like, if you need anything, I'm here. I know I don't like know what you're feeling, but little do I know, like I did know like what he was feeling, but the only difference was the fact that he wasn't able to see those last few moments with his mom, which I know it's like so devastating. And knowing the whole situation with COVID, people weren't allowed to go in the hospitals. They couldn't be in the same room, and I got to be in that room. And I don't really want to talk about what happened, because that was probably that's a trauma that I feel like I can't really share at this moment, especially with everybody. But it felt like a movie. It felt like those situations you see when something happens in the hospital, and just like everybody's going crazy, and it just felt so surreal to me. I just couldn't. My whole body went into shock. My whole entire body went into shock, and I couldn't even feel. I couldn't even feel. I do wish that I did say I love you one more time though. But he knows that I love him. I know he knows I love him. Don't really know what it feels like as to be like, you know, a spirit floating around. I hope he's not lost. I hope he does find his way to sanctuary. But yeah. Love you, Dad. I love you so much. You were my rock. You believed in all my dreams. You understood me and my dreams. You understood me in general. And not a lot of parents understand their children or their kids. And he understood me in certain ways that I can't explain to people. So think I'm crazy, which is just somebody that's just misunderstood. And he believed in everything that I've ever put my mind to. He knows that I have his, you know, willpower, because nothing stopped my dad. He made shit happen. He made shit happen, and I just love that about him. And he didn't let nobody stop him. And I know, like, that's where I get it from. And I'm happy that I could carry on that trait. I got a lot of things on my plate. Who knows? Anyways, my light just turned off. Yeah, I have a lot of things on my plate. Oh, thank you. Interesting. Light just shined on me. When I get back to Vegas, just pray for me. Pray that it won't be a shit show, because one thing is, like, I'm a very positive person, but like they say, I have Shaw blood in me, which is my father. And that ain't nothing to be played with. So we'll see what happens. Plus, I'm planning on moving to, supposed to be moving to Arizona. So, yeah. Definitely would be a fresh start on everything. I don't know how my sister's gonna feel, because she's gonna feel like everybody's, you know, or her siblings are gonna be in another state, and she's gonna be in Vegas. And I mean, she'll be with her boyfriend, and my mom's still there. And Ivana. But we'll see. I love you, Dad, so much. And I hope you're at peace. And I would love for you to, you know, send me a sign here and there that you're there and you're watching over all of us. I really appreciate that. If there's any message I can leave to people, don't expect you guys to empathize with me unless you've been through it. I know a lot of people said if I meet them, you know, that they're there. Sorry if I cut off, but yeah. A lot of people said that they'll be there if I need them. I don't expect everybody to be there or understand. I appreciate it, like, from the bottom of my heart. The only thing I can really tell you guys is just cherish every moment you can with people. If your intuition is telling you you need to spend more time with that person or whatever, but you just felt too lazy to, you got to understand that that is something that is, you know, so much of a greater message, like a spirit or something telling you like you need to do this, and there's a reason why. You might not know within that moment, but there's a reason why. And just listen to it. And I'm glad I listened to it. I remember my dad always telling me, listen to your intuition, it doesn't lie to you. And there's been some times I've ignored it, and you know, I'm like, ah, shit, you know. But yeah, and I'm glad that I did listen to it, and I did what I had to do. I just want more like amazing happy days like I did, you know, yesterday. So shout out to, you know, my aunt for hanging out with me today, and my cousin Danye and Cherish, and also my brother / best friend Darius, for, you know, hanging out with me yesterday and laughing and giggling and roasting and stuff. And also, you know, my homie Thomas and stuff like that, and having, you know, those deep conversations and stuff, and also like laughing and stuff too. Like, I really do appreciate that. Like, I had a good time, you know, with each of you guys. And I think my actual brother, Herbert, that lives out here, for making a trip, and my sister-in-law for making a trip out to Vegas that day, and I wasn't alone at the hospital. And yeah, and my stepmom for being there during the times where we were taking care of my dad and making sure he was okay. My little brother and my other older brother, you know, being moral support. My mom, she had 15 years, you know, married to my dad, so I thank her for being there. And I thank my best friend Candace. I thank Tony for calling me in the nick of time. She didn't even know what was going on. Thank you for everybody that did reach out to me. It's just a lot. It's just very overwhelming. There's a lot of you guys that reached out to me. Some people that I am very close with, and yeah, I just haven't been able to really have the strength to get. It's like I'm spreading myself too thin, but I do see your message. I hear you. I feel the love. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Like, you don't understand, but it really does make me happy to know that, you know, how I've been raised, from my parents. Obviously they did an amazing job, because, you know, you guys had nothing but like great things to say. You had nothing but great things to say, not only about my dad, if you knew him personally, or, you know, about, you know, me and how I was. And I just, like, it literally brought tears, you know, of happiness to my eyes to hear that. So, stupid. Light's like, nope, we're not coming on. But anyways, I'm gonna go. It's my last night here. Try to figure out what I'm gonna do. And yeah, I'll probably get packing and call it a night. But again, thank you everybody. Love you. I don't know when I'm gonna post this, because this is pretty heavy information. Probably not gonna stop doing YouTube, but now everybody kind of understands like why I did and what was going on within that time frame. But now that I have some peace of mind that he's not suffering and that he's resting, and I can go forward with my life and continue to be happy and live my life to the fullest, because that's what he would want. That's what he would want. Thank you so much, Dad. You're amazing. Regardless of some of your flaws, you're amazing. You've done great things, and never forgotten. Love you guys. See you guys next time.